The UCLA School of Law is launching the Safeguarding Democracy project, led by elections expert Rick Hasen. It's aimed at promoting free and fair elections in the U.S. The project was formed in response to former President Donald Trump's efforts to undermine confidence in U.S. elections. The advisory board will include several well-known attorneys, legal experts, and activists. Janai Nelson is one of those advisory members. She is also president and director-counsel of the Legal Defense Fund, and she joins us now. Thank you for joining us. Janai, can you explain exactly, help us understand the scope of this Safeguarding Democracy project?
Well, it has a pretty broad mandate, and that is to examine our electoral process and to safeguard it from election sabotage. As we know from the January 6th hearings, our democracy has been under threat, and we just narrowly escaped a government coup in the last presidential election. And so we've been convened, those of us who have done election protection work, many lawyers and legislators and scholars and democracy advocates are coming together across a ideological spectrum, a very diverse and wide-ranging group, to examine what we can do to safeguard our democracy as we approach the next presidential election. So
where are you focusing your thinking? I mean, is it on Election Day? Is it on restrictions to getting people registered? Is it on officials who've been elected who are deniers of the last election? What are the sort of categories for the maximum attention?
Well, there are many ways to sabotage an election. You can sabotage an election by suppressing the vote and denying people access to the ballot. You can sabotage an election by intimidating the election officials who are charged with counting our ballots and charged with administering our elections. And you can also sabotage an election through misinformation and disinformation by using social media platforms to suggest that the election is a fraud, or to advance the big lie, which is what undergirded the January 6th insurrection. So there are many ways that we are going to examine how to erect safeguards and how to create a democracy and an electoral process that has the integrity that the American public can rely on.
How much of the work do you imagine will be spent simply informing voters of, say, perhaps shifting rules and regulations, or areas where it's perhaps harder to get to the ballot or to get registered, which is just an information campaign? And then how much effort and time do you think would be spent in preparing legal action in places where the vote might be threatened?
Well, this project, the Safeguarding Democracy project, is one that will be issuing recommendations and examining these issues. It's not in a position to bring litigation. That's the job of civil rights organizations like the one I lead, the Legal Defense Fund, and we still have suits that are pending from the last presidential election, and we will certainly be at the ready to litigate as needed in this upcoming midterm election cycle, as well as the presidential election.
And finally, the Supreme Court announced last week that it would hear a North Carolina case that could have major repercussions on future elections. What can be done in that case? Given your interests, I mean, the Supreme Court, how do you think that will affect 2024, and what can be done if the ruling goes against what you've been advocating for?
Well, it's not hyperbole to say that the fate of our democracy rests in the hands of the 9 justices on the Supreme Court when they decide the case Moore versus Harper, which, as you noted, is a case out of North Carolina involving that state's congressional districts. And what the court is deciding there is how much authority does a state legislature have to control federal elections? And the doctrine at issue there, the theory, the independent state legislature doctrine, is one that would give absolute unchecked authority to state legislatures when it comes to federal elections, which means that the fate of our democracy really is before the court in this upcoming term. And I have to believe that they understand the importance and significance of this issue and what it means for the national security of this country.
Janai Nelson, thank you so much for being with us.